Bill Gates, Microsoft. So let's talk about Bill Gates for a second. Well, Bill Gates' parents didn't support him as much monetarily with his businesses anyway, as much as some other billionaires that we'll talk about in later videos. They did support him in other ways. They, I guess, were tremendously good parents. They were good role models, and you could say that they opened the doors up for his later success. His mother, Mary Gates, used her connections on the board of United Way to help Microsoft secure their first major deal with IBM, which was absolutely pivotal for the company's early success. It wasn't cash, but it was better than cash. Immensely valuable. Social capital. Maybe you could say Bill Gates is more self-made than others, but still, he was born into the upper middle class, and he went to a private high school, Lakeside, in Seattle, Washington, one of the few schools that happened to have computer access at a time when computers were so new they didn't even have screens. Now, I know this not only because you can look this up on the internet, but also because I rented a room from somebody that went to Lakeside. I think he was a little bit younger than Bill and Melinda Gates, but he became a piano tuner, and he talks about piano tuning and moving pianos for people that he went to school with, and one of them at least inherited a giant corporation. So I don't know like firsthand, but I know secondhand, and the guy's a trustworthy source, and I mean, he has more money than I do, but he was like the poor kid going to Lakeside. So he wasn't super rich, but I would say they were very well off and had all sorts of beneficial connections. And some of his classmates were super rich.
Was unbelievably lucky, and I had a lot of fun talking about my mom, who was amazing, and I had a complicated relationship with her that somehow motivated me. My dad, I have such incredible admiration for the example he set. There's a lot of times in my early career where he helps out. It comes from my parents having lots of events at their house with friends or related to my dad's career. The way my dad would share lawsuits, explain, okay, this is what antitrust means. It's like, oh, wow.
His mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, had a career that involved both business and community service. She was a school teacher for a short while, then later served on the board of directors for several major corporations, First Interstate Bancorp and U.S. West. She was also actively involved in numerous nonprofit organizations, and notably she was the first woman to chair the United Way of America National Executive Committee. Bill Gates' father, William H. Gates, Sr., had quite the legal career after serving in the Army during World War II. He completed his law degree at the University of Washington in 1964. Then he co-founded the Seattle-based law firm, would eventually become Preston Gates and Ellis LLP, now just called K&L Gates, where he specialized in corporate and technology law, becoming a respected member in the legal community. I point out Gates' family because one, it's interesting, and two, it's a lot easier to become successful when you have parents that are also successful. You emulate what you see. My parents were some of the best parents anybody could ever ask for. And my dad is sort of an entrepreneurial himself, running his own landscaping business when I was a kid, and then later becoming a plumber and running his own plumbing business. And my mom's always worked for herself as well as a cleaner. And I suppose they've never tried to break out and become some giant corporation. I don't even think they'd want to. But I remember money being a problem as a child. I remember not being able to have things that other kids got. Maybe that brought me character. Maybe that made me tougher, have a better work ethic. But my point is I don't think either one of my parents knows anybody that works for IBM. They say you're 3 steps away from everyone on the planet or something like that. So I suppose with enough networking, anything is possible. I still think it's possible to be successful coming from anywhere. All I'm saying is Gates and other people on this list were born into a place of privilege. That doesn't mean I don't have my own privileges or you sitting at home don't have yours. And everybody should get to know their own advantages and take advantage of those advantages. But still, it's a lot easier for someone born into a family that has a certain amount of money and knows certain people rather than somebody, say, homeless on the street with a good idea. Bill Gates Sr. retired in 1998, and in his retirement, he got involved with the Bill and Melinda Foundation, where he went around the world trying to help people and helping his son's foundation. But there you have it. Bill Gates had his advantages. He had more or less, I would consider, at least compared to my family, well-off parents. He went to a private school. He had opportunities that most people don't. He got exposed to computers at a time that most people didn't know what computers were. I mean, his first computer didn't even have a screen. He got lucky both by the family that he was born in, where he was born, the time he was born, and the people that he was exposed to growing up. And his father and mother were both business people that ingrained entrepreneurship and being in the business world from a very young age. I certainly don't hold any of this against him. In fact, I praise that he took the opportunities that he did. There's plenty of rich people that just become drug addicts and just become slobs. Maybe he could have been a bum. Like, his parents were middle class, right? They weren't billionaires. He could have thrown it all away, and he didn't. He was very ambitious as a businessman, for better or worse. He built his business from the ground up at a time when very few were doing what he was doing. And then he took over the industry, for better or worse. He fought antitrust lawsuits and many allegations saying that Microsoft was a monopoly. Microsoft is still a Goliath to this day and probably for many years to come, especially in the business sector. But the whole point is the world isn't black and white. It's in fact colorful, and I think it's important to keep our own lives into perspective and be easy on ourselves, because I think being kind to yourself gives you the biggest advantage. You need to be kind to yourself and look at things through your own story. Everybody's on their own timeline. Figure out what your own advantages are and play on them. I still think it's possible with the right idea, with the right chain of luck, that a poor man can become rich. And certainly if you're middle class, like the Gates, you can be born into a rich family and end up a total failure, whatever that means. And you can be born into a poor family and create great success and wealth. But everybody's born with certain circumstances against them or for them. So if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. I'm trying to grow this new show, channel, whatever. Tell me what you would like to see. I have a bunch of ideas. Hopefully they'll be more entertaining than this one. I'm watching back the edit. It's a little boring, but I do think the facts should be out there in an easy way to digest rather than just on Wikipedia and different news sites or whatever. I'm thinking about moving in the direction of more hot topics and what's happening in today's world with the billionaire class. I'm also working on some scripts about some of the bigger scandals that's happened in finance, like the 2008 crash and how bankers made out like bandits. And I'm really just kind of playing with ideas when it comes to this show at the moment. So please do comment and tell me what you like to see and which way you'd like the show to go. Do you want to see more of my face, or you want to see more of my edit? I'm a weirdo. I can just make really long informational edits, or I can lean on to the more hot topics, which would probably be smarter given YouTube is all about the algorithm and likes and all that. So I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. We know the direction already. It's watch the rich, but under that, we're brainstorming. Let's brainstorm together. We can get crazy, or we can get really informational, or both. I don't know, dude. Like, subscribe, and I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you in the next live.